Dave, what are you seeing here early on in this one? Oh, he might not be.
Well, right now I was working on getting us live. You had other people in your booth for a couple of weeks, and some things were set differently, so I don't think we were live at the beginning. It'll be there on the recording, but I don't think we were live on YouTube until I hit the button that said go live. So if you want to hear our wonderful introduction and all in the grid and all that, just go back and watch the replay later.
But are we live now?
Yes, we are live now. We are also serving as the race control until Mark Murphy gets here, so make sure you guys pay attention to the any cautions that come up, because we get to assign the tallies.
All right.
Power.
Power within. Well, now that we are live, David Tooker is stretching it out, but take a look at that new second place driver. Ethan Stanley is doing pretty nifty in that 92.
Ethan Stanley in second and teammate Tyler Bodie in third. Front few have been able to distance themselves. Nice little green flag run to start things.
Yeah, I don't know if I was expecting that, considering what we saw in practice.
I can tell you I definitely wasn't expecting it, but so far everybody on their best behavior as we get this one underway here in Nashville.
Looking at the 42 of Chris Wright, he is chasing Chad Frankenfield.
I just always automatically go to the 15 car if I'm looking for some possible cautions.
Saw a little bit of blinking going on in front of him, whoever that Coors Light car is.
Jonathan Cutlip?
I think so.
It's a Coors Light Coca-Cola car. How's that?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I agree. I thought it was the Bill Elliott Coors Light type car, right?
Yeah.
Has that kind of color scheme.
Paint scheme, as always, by that 5.
Which is actually pretty good that I even pulled that front. As you guys know, I don't have a great car photo bank.
Hey, you remembered that one and you backed me up, so. The front two have distanced themselves about a second and a half in front of Tyler Foley, who currently holds that third spot. He's in front of last week's winner, Ethan Burrell.
Ethan Stanley's definitely trying to figure out a way around David Tooker for that lead, but we've also got this battle for third as well. Ethan Burrell looking to the outside as we go on board here. And you can really see from this the bumps that I was talking about. I mean, you can see how much Fode's car is bouncing around in front of Ethan, especially right here out of turn 2 is where the bumps really try to upset the car. And I think you're even seeing these guys, right here, they're even running a little bit higher to try and avoid some of those bumps on the bottom on the exit of turn 4 as well.
Yeah, I know I heard some of the guys pre-race were talking about if they could have added just a little bit of ride height, they would have liked it a little better.
Yeah, this is a Bristol setup race car on these cars, right?
Correct.
Or at least from my understanding, that's the baseline setup that they started with for this. I'm sure there are some tweaks and things of that nature. It's probably not exactly the Bristol setup, but it sounds like that was the starting point that was used for tonight's fixed setup.
Catch lap traffic already.
Lap traffic might be a factor in this one. This is considered, or it would be considered, a short track. Mark Riblis about to go a lot down, I think, in that 99.
What's the shortest track on the NASCAR circuit?
Martinsville, 0.52. It's also the oldest track. It's the only track that NASCAR originally went to when it was first founded back in 1949. That's still on the
Ooh, little contact. A little nudge there from Ethan Stanley on the back of David Tooker.
Mark Reblos giving way for the leaders here, going all the way up top.
He's hoping for a caution now as he's the only car one lap down. Ethan looking toward the inside and might have a run, but Tooker still holding pretty soundly in that outside lane.
I think that's got to be the move, actually, if you're trying to defend here tonight, is run up top, keep the guy pinched to the bottom, and try to get those runs off the corner. We'll see how it works for Tooker here, but I feel like that's got to be what we're going to see more often than not tonight. Ethan's putting up a pretty good fight, though.
Yeah, and more lap traffic. Oh, he's gonna give way. I don't know who that was.
Man, this is some really good racing we're seeing to start the night.
Lap 24 here. And it's all been under green flag conditions. Ooh, Tooker got a piece of the fence right there.
No, Alex, that is possible. What can happen sometimes too is it can be a little bit of net code. Sometimes you can see that happen. We're watching Tooker and Ethan Stanley just have a whale of a battle up front. Race Control is calling it off of the broadcast because his iRacing has decided to refuse to update. So as soon as I'm able to get in there,
I was going to say you owe me a tally because I had the tally power and I was ready to use it. They didn't even get a caution, dude.
It's. I'm sorry, Dave, Alex, and Zach. My apologies. I had the update started at 6 o'clock, and made dinner and whatever, and it's one of those things where the server goes soft. You know what I mean? It would go at 20 gigabytes or 20 megabytes a minute, and then it would stop. You know what I mean? Yeah, incredibly frustrating, but that's all my So roll with the punches, right?
Oh yeah. We'll give you some good views to make your calls.
And right now, I would love to see this all night. You got two of the best in the business, David Tooker, Ethan Stanley. The high line is gonna prevail here. The preferred line is really up in that second lane. If I was Ethan Stanley, I might could just kind of let him go a little bit, gentlemen, because I think he's burning up his stuff and staying down. To be honest with you.
Dak, if you see anything else you want to watch through the field, let me know.
I definitely don't want to leave this battle for the lead right now.
No.
Yeah.
They could do this all night.
Like Ethan has been able to bounce ahead by half a car length the last 2 laps.
He might. No, I think Tooker's gonna get a little bit.
Contact.
Wow! He went up and took that spot.
How bad did he hurt that right front? Staying down there like that, I wonder. Because you see, he's immediately come off that bottom.
Yeah, I figured that was. I'm surprised he was able to make that work as long as he did. Before you joined, Mark, I was talking about how really Tooker kind of had the preferred situation there, being able to pinch Ethan down. But kudos to Ethan for making it work and taking the lead here.
Something that you might notice, guys. You look at Tooker's car. Maybe you can get a different kind of a wider shot so you can see the sides. But you kind of see it. You kind of see it right there. One of the ways that you preserve the front tires of these cars is you turn the brake bias all the way back. Look at old Tooker's car there. The rear rotors are glowing, but the fronts aren't. So that tells me he's got the bias turned way to the back in an effort to preserve his fronts. Ethan Stanley may be the same thing. I don't see his fronts glowing either, but you can see it. You know what I mean? You can see visibly the brake bias difference in these cars, the way these guys have them set up to try to save those front tires.
Ethan doing well on the job to come back and groove. Try to be the first multi-win season winner of the season here. David Tooker looking for his first win since the Coca-Cola 600 last year.
Looks like we've got a little battle shaping up for about third place right now with Tyler Fody and R.C. Enerson here.
Both winners this season as well. In fact, out of everybody inside the top 5, only Tooker has not been to victory lane.
And Mark was talking about the difference in those brake rotors. At least from this angle, it looks like there's a little bit more glow there on the rear for Tyler Fody in car 40.
It's just those little things that you kind of notice and pick up. You see a guy and his fronts are glowing. Either one of two things has happened. He's either used up his stuff and he's really hard on the brakes, or they're really trying to. They've got too much front bias, and at RC you see it kind of slide. Now what that will do is it'll heat up the rears, so later on in the run they're going to start to get greasy. If memory serves, and I've only run Nashville in an Xfinity car. Memory serves, this place is not all that hard on tires generally. Zach, I don't know if you have different opinions. If I remember right, it's harder on the fronts than the rears. But
Yeah, that's been my experience, especially the right front, because you're carrying so much speed into the corner. You can really abuse the right front if you're not careful. The smart money is you're seeing these guys like you talk about with the brake bias, or even just get out of the throttle a little earlier, back up your entry so that you're not just completely running the right front into the ground as you hit that banking, and really let the banking do the work for you through the middle of the corner so you can kind of straighten out the exit is the ideal way to go about it.
I tell you what, Alex, Zach was talking about backing up the entry. Tyler Fody just about backed up his entry right into R.C. Enerson's nose. Right there.
Those are incredibly good drivers. You can see the brake rollers just glowing on those cars. That's a nice touch that iRacing has given these cars.
You know what it does, and Alex, you were talking about the first NASCAR races earlier, Martinsville, 1949, shortest track and all that. Did you know that the banking here used to be quite a bit steeper? At one point, this was the highest banked half mile in the country.
No, I did not know that.
You can find some of the video on YouTube from like in Wide World of Sports broadcast here when they had the 35 degrees of banking, and it looks unreal.
Yeah, they cut it down. They chopped it down to like half that. Now it's what, 18 degrees?
18 degrees, yeah.
Bristol's what, 24?
Oh my gosh, I had the experience last season to try and twerk on the high bank.
Whoa, R.C. Enerson just disappeared.
Yeah, he went poof.
Yeah, he just poofed into the wall completely.
Well, that's not ideal.
No, it is not.
We'll see if he reappears. You guys can call it out if if he disconnects from the server.
He was there.
And then bam.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked like Merlin hit him with a magic wand.
Ooh.
Snow.
Yeah, now he's here. He's back.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he's bringing it to pit road, it sounds like.
Yeah, if that holds form, RC, he'll retire the car usually when that happens to him.
Yeah, he just kind of came back on the track and got it into the pit lane there.
Yeah, and so the rubric on that, kind of the thing that you do if you're a driver in that situation is you can kind of tell if you blink that bad. so what you want to do is, if you can, get it to the apron. If you can't get it to the apron, get it to pit road, which is what RC did. If you can't get it to the apron, get it to pit road. You want to get out of the racing line because you don't know when you're going to reappear for everybody else. And RC did an absolutely fabulous job right there.
Yeah, I'm only hearing one
That's
car. One
unfortunate
car got a
because he
little
was
damage.
running third.
Yeah, and that happens. You got to remember too. RC lives in Florida. He's in an area of the country that's inclement weather over the last week or two, and so
It's 1952 in Florida these days, so that's no problem.
Yeah, but I mean, it's true. We don't think about those things in broadcast, but people's locations and whatever else. I mean, it definitely has an impact. You know what I mean? There's likely where he is as part of the world. There's likely some internet disruption. Even just people's locations throughout the world in the same circle. On the open wheel side, when I'm lining up to make a pass on Jesper Warman and Adriano Pinheiro, you're conscious of the fact that
contact
Boston.
rail off of the left rear of Fody. Holds it together.
Sorry, carry on.
No, but what I was saying was you're conscious of the fact that, I'm in Indiana, Jesper's in Sweden, and Adriano's he's in Brazil. And so you take that into account because the chance for netcode there is great. Same way with anybody in Florida or Georgia right now. I might be a little bit extra careful around them guys because, they just had a hurricane go through. Service might be a little bit spotty sometimes in some cases.
Yeah. That's hard to sometimes take into consideration of the guys that are racing around you. You really gotta put that in the memory bank.
Yeah, you do. You absolutely do. And a lot of these guys, they'll know. They've got the fourth monitors, they've got the admin boxes, they've got the stuff, the tools to know they install slabs and stuff like that. So they know who might have some soft pings. Sometimes you can see a guy blinking a little bit. Somebody who's not blinking a little bit is a little
Caution.
Caution. Two cars stuck in turn one.
I believe one was Nick and Delicato.
Yeah. The other one wanted to
fire up the Revelous replay machine here.
See what happened here to bring
Rewind.
out our first yellow flag of the night. Oh, I think Nick thought he was clear and he wasn't. 26 and innocent victim there.
Any other reviews you need there, Mark? Run it back at regular speed.
Let's try that one. And you're 3 wide right there. I almost want to call that a racing deal. And if you back up, I'll tell you why. So you've got the 05 down on the bottom, and he starts to come up off the bottom. And I think Nick was just I think Nick and Delicato was trying to, and he was anticipating he was anticipating the 05 move. The 26 does come down a little bit, and you can see right there. You can see there's still quite a bit of net code. So I'm going to call that a racing incident. No further action. And Dave, you can tell the boys that I am updating Oxford right now. So the update is just about complete.
Pit road about to be a busy place. Hey guys, I'm gonna leave you just for a couple of minutes. I had some personal news that I want to share with my family. And I gotta make a phone call, so I'll be back. But
you know where we'll be.
Yeah, you guys are more than capable.
Let's not get carried away.
All right, I'll be back.
I have relayed the message.
We're proud of you, Dave.
Thank you. They're still talking about it though. They like don't know where the message is coming from. Chad's looking at everything but his text from me, which is where he told me to tell him about the tally.
Did you?
And I did send it over the broadcast too.
I can't tell, so I don't.
So hopefully Robert will tell Chad to look at his phone and his his text message.
He's texting me as well. Just FYI. My update is now to Spielberg. So,
Even?
I feel. Yeah, it's just about done. I feel so bad. I know you guys work on that, and
My broadcast is anybody else frozen? I seem to be frozen. There we go. All right, there we go.
That's good.
yeah, that's a fairly simple no call. Anytime you're 3 wide, you got guys coming together and accordioning together off the corner. It's fairly easy.
Yes, story with an incident under caution.
Now let's see what we got here.
Just stops on track. And we have Dylan Thomas, vendor. Maybe just letting serving an EOL, maybe.
Right, maybe, probably.
Okay. We're back to green.
I sure hope and pray that whatever news Alex just got was good news. We get back to green. Ethan Stanley takes off, followed by David Tooker, Tyler Fody.
Caution again.
Burrell.
Caution.
We were so good the first run.
They breed themselves, don't they, gentlemen? It's like the 05. What's happened here?
Caleb Thompson there, the 05.
Just steps out on corner exit. Oh, does everybody miss him?
Yeah, just like a self spin tally.
Yeah, it's going to be a self spin and a tally. That doesn't go as damage to other cars though.
Self spin tally on 05. Okay. Type it in here too.
Zach, what are you seeing here? What are we thinking the fuel stuff and the tire windows and all that's going to be?
You know, I imagine now that we've had, I would be surprised if the caution we got around lap 60 didn't put everybody in the fuel window. I know I was talking with Ryan Gable earlier today, and he said that from the testing leading into the race, tire wear isn't awful on this car here. I imagine if we get another long green flag run, guys will pit for tires. But if we were to get into a rash of cautions, I imagine track position will be more valuable than fuel or tires at this point.
Gentlemen, just so you were aware, I have finally been able to access the session. It's loading now, so
Congratulations.
All right.
Hooray for me, right?
They were asking about a time when Rucker hit the barrels, but I do not have Rucker hitting the barrels.
I remember when Justin Fortner hit the barrels off the nose of Mr. Frankenfield, but that's a whole different race, isn't it?
So I'm just going back to line.
Yeah, Mark can try to find that now that he has his own.
Yeah.
Well, not in yet, right? This has been incredibly frustrating, but you adapt, improvise, and overcome, right, Dave?
Somewhere between lap 56 and lap 61, Rucker hit the barrels. But nobody else is claiming that they hit him. That happens.
Yeah, I'm only going to be out. I'm not in the session yet. It's still loading. I won't be able to look at it even when I get in.
I can clip it for you after the.
Yeah, no worries.
Nevertheless, it appears we are going back green flag racing. Ethan Stanley, David Tooker lined up front row here.
Ethan with a good jump.
Yeah, he's able to get out in front. Tooker slots into second, side by side for third with Tyler Fody on the inside, Ethan Burrell on the outside. Behind them, Ryan Gable on the outside, Braxton DeWeese. Oh boy, that was, oh gosh, 3 wide. 3 wide here, and
we're still
we have
3
a caution.
wide.
So we're not going to have to figure that out, fortunately.
Go back and see maybe tour around there.
Survey says. Oh, synchronized self-spinning. That's exciting.
Yeah, there you go.
32 stepped out. 28 stepped out. 51 stepped out. Everybody all got together and decided they were going to spin the inside wall there.
Fluid on the track, almost there. What are you going to call
My
that on there, Marky?
apologies, gentlemen.
I believe we got some accidental bleed over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so looking at that incident there, you're stacked, you're stacked up 2 by 2. Looks like the incident is triggered with the 28 just self-spinning, the 32 sympathetically self-spins. I'm going to call that dueling self-spins, issue a tally on each.
I can type that. Tally on the 28 and the 32. Okay, you can tell them in the chat now, since they can hear you, and I don't have to text it to Chad. There we go. Now I can put my phone away. I don't have to text Chad anymore. Mark can do his work.
The less you have to text Chad, the better. Just on general principle.
Seen an incident with Michael Hossack. Let's see what happened with him. I think he just maybe blinked out for a little. Yep.
Yeah, that just looks like some connectivity issues.
And the other thing to remember here, kind of guys, is it is week 13. So we are going to experience these things during week 13 on a magnified level. I can recall leading an open wheel race and an iRacing open wheel series race, leading the top split at Road America. And I was coming down the front straight, going up the hill, and all of a sudden my car catapulted into the woods. No idea how it happened. We surmised after the race was over that somebody had glitched out right there and the system didn't remove them. So their car was invisible to me, but it literally, if you go back and watch my stream of that race, I'm just hammer down, going up the hill, having a good time, and then all of a sudden I'm rear end over tea kettle into the woods.
In the next caution, I'm going to have to share my own new build horror story. But
we're going green.
Going green here, so we'll focus on that for now. Coming to the green to start lap 77 here in the IndyCar 1909.com 200 at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Once again, Ethan Stanley got to get out front here on David Tooker. And now it's Ethan Burrell and Braxton DeWeese battling for third on that second.
Now everybody looking good, everybody doing a good job. You see the cars kind of low pressures, beginning of a run, kind of bottoming out there. The 13 up there.
Oh, that was Ray Bracey back there? Or who's in the yellow and green car this
Casey
week?
Hatch. Casey Hatch.
Casey Hatch? I think he saved it. Good job.
Well, we got a car in the wall down here. Caution's out.
Jesse Racinas, maybe?
Yeah, that's who that looks like. They're against the inside wall.
Take a look at it here.
And it looks like, yep, his is going to step out on him, and then Tate Lytle nowhere to go. Kind of finishes him off there.
All right, we'll play some ads real quick.
Isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Hey, we're back.
Welcome back here on the Elite Racing Network. Join APS.com Cup Series action at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Right now, working lap 82 under our fourth caution of the evening. Ethan Stanley leading the way.
We went 56 laps with no caution, and now we've had 4 in the last.
Unfortunately, I think this part is more how we expected the evening to go, but definitely saw some good racing in those first 50-some laps. Hopefully we can get it all sorted out here and get back underway on this next restart as we see the lights are out on the iRacing pace car.
Speaking of something to get sorted out, guys, again, this is something unique, very unique to sim racing. It is week 13 in iRacing. We kind of alluded to that before the break. Trading paints is messed up, and so these guys are all seeing different cars associated with drivers they're not used to. Gavel is driving and that's what other people are seeing, and that's going to have an effect here.
They might start bumping with people thinking they're not their teammate.
Or bumping somebody. You gotta, it's a short track. You know what I mean? It's a short track, Zach. You know, you might have to pay somebody from 6 months ago to clean him out and say, oh no, that was really not the right guy. You know, all sorts of stuff happens week 13. You don't ever think about here.
It's funny because you think of week 13 as something you only deal with in officials, right? You know, it's kind of for people who aren't familiar with iRacing. It's kind of the fun week. A lot of the safety ratings and iRating is turned off, and guys get to try out these unique combinations, usually with some of the new content that comes out with the new build drops today, a bunch of updates. So they kind of, you know, it's kind of a relaxing week in that sense, but you know, it comes with its own hiccups that come with a new build, and you're hearing about some of that here tonight as well on this side of the fence.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something you got to treat. It's something you got to treat just like, mechanical failure or, weather or whatever else it is. Just like netcode, you got to adapt to it, improvise with it. We're still seeing Michael Howard that he's glitched out a couple of times. Keep an eye on that. We've got a caution.
Gerald
Campbell here.
I don't
He's
think he
able to
collected
get back,
anybody, but
right? Yeah, it looks like it was probably a self-spin, but we'll get a look at the replay here. Looks like it's got to be turn 2 again that gets him. Right there is where those bumps are too. You could see the car start to step out. Oh, actually no, there's a little bit of contact there with the 64. Actually, I think I don't know if it was netcode or.
Yeah, and that's gonna be a racing incident, no action. There's nowhere for the 64 to go there. There's, you know what I mean? There's nowhere for him to go, and so yeah, there's contact, but that's a racing incident, no action.
Yeah, a little bit of netcode as well, but like you say, Andrew was he's already on the outside there. He can't go any higher. So. I kind of mentioned there was one time in particular I had a really unfortunate deal on one of these right after a build. You remember, you're an open wheel guy. You probably remember the time when the American open wheel Class A car had an issue with glitching out and causing the sim to crash because of wheel damage.
I remember that. Thankfully in iRacing we don't have to deal with the server just randomly crashing during big events. So I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, there was one race where I was leading in a league race, and I can't. Now I'm questioning if it was wheels or wings or what, but there was something where basically the damage would just never clear itself, and it would cause the game to crash. And I was leading a race, and a caution came out. It was at Richmond, so I come around turn 2, and there's a minefield of debris, and then I was gone, and it was very frustrating.
Yeah, and it's it's something you just got to kind of deal with. I do find it funny that these guys are all they're seeing themselves in different people's cars. It's kind of funny to me. Because it does, man. It does play into it.
oh, hey, gentlemen, there's one thing we got to show before he's not here anymore. Birthday boy, Jeff Green. Today is his birthday.
Turned 29 today, didn't he, Dave?
Yeah, 29. I don't know which time that is for the 29th time, but...
A former track champion here at the Nashville Fairgrounds.
Happy birthday, Jeff.
If you look at the history of this place, it reads like a who's who of the track champions here. Read like a who's who of NASCAR and racing loyalty. You know what I mean? Really does.
Oh yeah, definitely some great history and storied legacies that have been built here, cutting their teeth at the Nashville Fairgrounds. We're back underway. Ethan Stanley again out front.
And so, if we go back and look, even at just the All-American 400 winners, not necessarily Jim Sauter, Gary Blue, Rusty Wallace, Darrell Walton, Purvis.
Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry.
Probably don't hear very often.
Wall there.
More modern times, Chase Elliott, John Hunter Nemechek, Daniel Hemrick, they've all prevailed.
Talk about bursting through the door of the booth, huh?
I'm sorry.
Scared the crap out of me.
I just wanted. Oh man, a couple of cars got in the fence there. I'm sorry about that. I wanted my mom to know I'm doing okay.
That's
And
always good.
It's always the most important thing.
You
Always
missed
the
4
most important
cautions.
Really, we've had 4. I was hoping.
thing. And look, neither Chad, Bodie, or Scott Trump are involved in any of it. So that's even the larger.
Hey, Scott Crump comes in here as the point leader. See, Chad get a piece of the fence right there.
That's back in 16th right now. Up 21
We're
spots,
about to
though.
be halfway, and with that, bonus point here is gonna be given. Can David Tucker or Ethan Stanley prevail? David Tucker came in here as the pole setter, but it looks like Ethan Stanley is gonna get that precious playoff point, and he will.
A little bit of a pack back here.
We're kind of going further back. We've got we've got Harrison Hogan and Johnny Cutler going at it. That is a battle for 9th and 10th. Looks like Harrison is determined to run the bottom and burn his tires up. Johnny Cutler's got hung out really nice on the high side. Now, what can happen here? This track does have some progression to it, Alex and Zach, and you can get up too high and really turn the car loose coming off the corner if you get up much higher where John is.
What is the tire window and fuel window? Are we close to being able to make it?
I think fuel-wise, we're probably good. Tires, it will depend on if we get another caution or not, when that falls and all of that. How long a green flag run we get, but fuel shouldn't be a concern at this point.
No, if it's anything like Bristol, I mean, this car will run 200 laps on 1 tank of gas. It's just whether or not you want to come get tires or not, and if you want to sacrifice the track position to put yourself in a potentially bad spot to get there.
Well, are we seeing enough tire fall off where it would be beneficial?
Zach would be the expert on that. I haven't seen enough. Zach, what do you think?
From what I've heard, it is not tremendous, the tire wear here. Obviously, we'll see. Unfortunately, we didn't get a lot of data from our first green flag run because then pretty much everybody pitted because it was 50-some laps. And then since then, we really haven't had another sample size where we can really get an idea of what we're working with here. But pretty much almost everybody pitted all together at lap 58 during that first caution. So.
You know, and with that, with guys, everybody pitting on the same schedule, you don't really get that strategy differentiation that I like to talk about during races. Everybody stopped at about lap 50 yellow. Nobody took the gamble and stayed out, and so, unfortunately, we don't have, the one guy that's on old tires trying to stay up. Kind of stinks a little bit. I would anticipate if there's a late yellow, though, you're going to have some guys take and some guys not. I'm always of the opinion that I want 4 fresh tires, but some guys are gamblers, right?
Ethan Stanley is still shows the way. But battles are heating up all over this racetrack, and I think, someone got a piece of the wall right there. That second lane is really becoming the preferred method around this racetrack. This day has gone from bad to worse. Sorry.
It's okay. Now Zach's run here a lot more than I have, but it seems to me that the group might move a little bit higher as the run goes. Is that thought accurate, Zach?
That's been my experience here. Obviously, the next-gen car is such a strain, so different than anything else. But whether it's been, for me, whether it's been in Xfinity or trucks or even, some Silver Crown or sprint car racing here, as the tires get hotter and the track heats up a little bit, and you lose some of that handling, you do tend to work your way up the racetrack, and it almost exaggerates the diamond to a certain extent, where you almost kind of let it sail into the corner and just roll a little higher, and you still want to straighten out that exit, right? So you still kind of try to get as pointed as much as you can for the exit off the corner, but maybe you just take a little bit wider line and maybe don't get all the way down as far to the bottom. Maybe you only cut down to the white line instead of getting all the way to the yellow line, or whatever the case may be. That has been my experience here as you experience a tire fall off at Nashville.
I would say this, so you just mentioned something, so maybe people don't know this, but it may not be tire wear. You may not physically be wearing the tread off. You may be fighting heat. So
100%.
Increased heat means less grip. And what these cautions do is, you get under caution, cool them down again. They become grippy. You don't have to do the marbles in iRacing, so you don't have to worry about them cleaning them up like they do in real life. As in real life, you heat cycle them. They get cool. They have more grip cool than hot. They have less grip overall.
And I think, like I say, everything I heard is that the fall off in terms of like the durability of the tire isn't significant. But just in the past 5 or 10 laps, we've seen the pace for a lot of these guys slow down by 1/10 to 2/10 just in the past 5 or 10 laps. And I think that's where you're talking about you're getting those tires a little bit hotter and they're losing a little bit of that grippiness, that stickiness as they get hot and slick, and the track reacts the same as well. I think that's probably what you're seeing there with those lap times falling off.
No, Alex, I think if it comes down to a caution here about lap 150, I might
Yeah. But you don't want to put yourself in a position where, like you mentioned earlier, you could be in harm's way.
No, that's very true.
I guess it depends on how many people are likely to make that decision with you.
Well, if it was me out there, and I don't know about Zach, of course, but if it was me out there, normally it'd be the car. If I stayed out, it would be the line of cars immediately behind me that would fit.
Yeah.
That's the way it always seems. Or if I go to pit road, nobody else goes.
I've never had a line of cars behind me to have that choice, so I get really good at playing monkey see, monkey do.
Or monkey see, monkey don't, as the case may be.
Sure.
Looks like we're going on our longest.
Oh, contact.
Little bit of contact between the 12 and the 23. But we're going on our longest green flag run here.
No, for a short track, this has been mighty clean.
Oh, no!
Far round, 05 and the 44 of Michael Goodman. Caution is out.
Oh no, hold on to it. No. Okay.
Ooh.
Woo!
Ugh. That's not what you want to see coming off turn 4 as a guy moving around. We got through it. Everything's okay. Good, he didn't hurt anybody. But that's when I have to resist the urge to key up the mic. A little bit of contact there between the 44 and the 05 to start that one off.
Happened right underneath the flag stand. You could see Barry pulling out the yellow flag immediately.
Yeah, it looks like everybody is coming to pit road.
Ethan Stanley, our leader, had a eyeful of that. Oh, there was some blinking.
Now, I do think we did see some guys probably took 2 tires versus 4 tires there, so we're gonna see how that all shakes out.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Michael Goodman being issued his first tally of the race.
Sounds like he's appealing it. He's thinking that he got his nose clipped here.
Yeah, and that's, you know, to me that's pretty clear. You know, the 05 has the corner. It's his corner. You know, there might be a little bit of net code there, but ultimately, it's on the 44 to back out of that. Not really quite far enough alongside to make that move. Does that make sense, gentlemen?
Yeah. Unfortunate for the 44.
Well, and the bad part of it is, you know what I mean, he it's going to be a tally on him regardless, because it's either contact or a self-spin, so he's going to get the tally. He gets spun around, he goes to the back, and, you know, now he's in the back and he's got a tally. It's, you know, it's always a frustrating thing. The good news is, Goody's got a fast car. He's going to be able to get back up through there again. No sweat.
Who took 2 tires and who took 4?
So it looks like to me, I'm kind of guesstimating. Unfortunately, the telemetry doesn't distinctly tell you 2 tires or 4 tires. But if I'm looking at these pit times here, I'm seeing the top 4 were all in the range of 8 seconds. So that tells me they took 2 tires. That's David Tooker, Ethan Burrell, Chad Frankenfield, and Tate Lytle. Ethan Stanley took 4 tires. It looks like to me Ryan Gable took 4 tires, and then it kind of mixes in and disperses from there, like Matthew Weeks and Scott Crumpet looks like we're 2 tires. Fody, Garrison Hogan, Braxton DeWeese, Jonathan Cutlip were probably 4 tires, but that's kind of what I'm seeing.
All right, well, David Tooker gets them back underway. 2 tires up front. Oh, Chad gets really loose and has to gather it up. They're 3 wide mid-pack. Chad
Field,
lost.
Fody,
Oh.
Hogan. Oh, and we're wrecked behind them.
29
Yes.
around back there.
Caution is out. That'll stop the bleeding for Chad because he was losing a lot of spots here.
So the 29 here, that's Jess Story. We're going to see what happens here.
Like the back end comes around a little
Both
bit.
he and the
23 comes around
23.
behind it. Could be on the 29 or the 23. I don't know.
I think it's the 23 actually, because the 23 comes to a stop. Yeah, that was synchronized spinning. Lucky, well, unlucky for them, but they don't take other innocent with them. But we'll take this moment. I don't know if we have any reads left.
Yeah, we do. We haven't had a chance to do too many of them. So let me get you to a view of the guys up front here, and I'll do a read real quick. We'll thank APS. APS.com offers a complete solution for all types of businesses that need to process credit card related transactions. Your industry specific solutions provide the best options for your business model. They have experienced client service representatives who understand what your processing needs are. TA Services. For over 36 years, TA Services has been a trusted domestic and international full-service third-party logistics provider, offering freight brokerage, managed transportation, warehousing, fulfillment, and cross-border logistics services to shippers around the globe. TA Services moves what matters to you. Let the TA Services team make ship happen for you. Blue Egg Marketing. Blue Egg is the marketing department for small businesses, small business owners. Blue Egg is your biggest fan. I want to shout out to Blue Egg Marketing. I've heard they are the first to sign on for the 24 season, so we'll be happy to have them back for the 24A season as a premier partner. Worldwide Technology Raceway is a motorsport racing facility in Madison, Illinois, close to the Gateway Arch. It features a 1.25-mile oval that hosts NASCAR Cup and Truck Series, an open wheel series, and they also have a 2-mile infield road course used by Speed Tour Trans Am, SCCA, and Porsche Club of America. They have a quarter-mile drag strip that hosts the annual NHRA Midwest Nationals event, and the Kartplex, which is a state-of-the-art karting facility. Our sponsor for tonight's race is IndyCar1909.com, which is IndyCar past, present, and future, and is the only time we're allowed to say the name IndyCar. That's it, gentlemen.
All righty. We'll take a break and we'll be back. You're watching the IndyCar 1909.
Lights are out.
I think we're going green.
Oh, are we?
Short track.
I'm sorry. And we're back.
Hey. Gotta watch the green flag laps while they're here.
Yeah. Cleaning up our 7th caution. Pro-Ed Racing teammates on the front side. Pole sitter David Tooker back underway. He gets a good launch. Oh wow, Matthew Weeks.
Whoa, Chris Ryder around into Robert
into
Hill.
The wall hard, and that's gonna cause
that's
a massive crash. Trey Holmes gets caught up into it. The 51 is sideways. Chris Wright got around, and everybody was involved.
There's just not a lot of room to escape when something goes wrong here. You got the walls on both sides. We'll see. Looks like Chris Wright, the car just stepped out on him.
Corrected.
Look at his broadcast partner on Monday nights.
And there's where it really, once like the 12 gets sideways, then it just kind of creates this track blocking situation, and lots of guys.
That's definitely, I didn't see the first or 3 of the first 4 incidents, but I would say the biggest crash of the night.
Got a little lift on Jeff's story there.
And it's not like you can break and avoid that there. How much damage does that hurt everyone at a racetrack like this?
Hard to say. I mean, obviously aero isn't as important here, but certainly you have to worry about any of those guys that took a pretty hard hit on a corner there. Like you see Jesse Racimus there, probably took a good shot on the right front. And you know, that's another thing we've talked about being week 13, about a new build. You know, maybe some of those damaged properties have been adjusted as part of that update, and we're about to find out together.
Yeah, and look, you know, in these cars you always worry about tow links. I could have told you a week ago you'd have half a dozen busted tow links there. Chris Wright's car is certainly askew as it meanders down pit road, but you know, who knows? You know, Fode's in there asking about damage to his nose. You know, clearly a bunch of guys got crunched. You don't know about radiators and, you know, supports under there hurting anything. Aerodynamics here don't matter certainly, but suspension damage, I mean, you don't know, and that's it's weird how something like that can affect the calculus. Not only because the thing is rebuilt now. There's going to be another build that comes out at the end of this week, finalizes those changes. So what's good for this week may not be good for next week, and what was good last week isn't good here now. It's a very unique situation.
And speaking about the new build, one of the big changes for this new build, not that it has any impact on tonight, but for our fans on Monday night here on the Elite Racing Network, the Xfinity car has been updated to the new damage model. So that's got to be a complete game changer for those guys on Monday nights.
Of course it is. And what else did we get? We got Super League, right? Super Formula.
The Super Formula car, which races out in Japan. A big one for the American short track folks here. Kern County is now on iRacing. I'm excited to give that a try in Silver Crown or Sprint car here in the coming official season. A new Acura for the sports car folks, out of the prototypes.
Green flag about to be back in the air. It's waving. David Tooker. Can he hang on for 56 laps?
You know, and to kind of go back to that deal with Chris right there, it almost looked like Zach just got the rear tires hooked up a little bit coming off the corner, and it turned him loose almost. Very odd. You see,
Gable got a little loose there.
Now we got one spinning in the back.
Caution back out. And this is where that two-tire strategy, I think, is gonna play major dividends, because if you can't run more than 2 laps, this is going to be the result. Dusty Dewar there. Oh, yeah.
You know, we were talking earlier about
that eye spun out in turn 4 look.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about the way you approach this track as the tires get hotter and hotter. Well, I think one thing we're seeing here is on these cold tires, they're having a hard time really getting going here, especially on that bottom lane. The rear end wants to step out until you get some heat in the tires to help it grip there. Guys are going to have to be just a little more cautious on corner exit, I think.
I didn't get a chance to read that. Was that the 32's first?
Second tally, I believe. I think he may be done.
Not going to appeal those.
Hard to appeal self spins.
Well, we'll be back with more action here. You're watching the IndyCar 1909 200. green flag is back out. Thankfully, we are not, what do you call it? NASCAR's Got Talent. Just
Yeah, so
listening to some of the in-car has been pretty funny.
it is not it is not Beyonce being sung down there, ladies and gentlemen. And y'all can thank yourself. Y'all can thank your lucky stars if they not hear them sing. But we do have some good racing up front. Tucker is jump back out of here. Ethan Burrell and Tate Lytle in hot pursuit. Oh, we've got another caution.
Oh, yes, we do. Must have a spinner in turn 3, I would imagine.
Looks like Josh Clark is around.
Let's see what happened to that 28 car. Did he have help? Oh, Michael Hassett.
Yeah.
Hard into the wall. Yeah.
I almost wonder the way that car peeled off the wall if maybe the first impact hadn't killed the right front on the 24 and then he gassed up right into the 28.
It's an odd place for him to, well, I guess off the corner. Oh, that is a hard hit. Fortunately, the 28 was just the next car around him.
Yeah, nothing Josh did wrong there, doing his best to get by, and next thing he knows, he's turned into the wall.
Some damage, definite damage on the 24, but also the 28 there.
So it looks like we're on board here, and there you can see the car step out. There's the hit into the wall. And you can see, he's got the wheel turned to the right there, and still the car is going to the left. So certainly some kind of damage to the right front corner there.
I wonder if you could see the eyes of the driver on the you saw the driver's eyes right there. If they're just set with disappointment. Oh, I can hear whoever that is more in-car audio. I don't know who was singing right there. Is that still Tate Lytle? We do apologize.
I think we're hearing it over Mark's.
Yeah. Mark.
There we go.
Thanks, Mark.
It was quite entertaining, though.
You never knew what the next word was going to be.
I could just hear the sweat dripping off of Dave's hands.
Oh, Dega, my dog, making his weekly appearance known.
Yep. I worry about him if I don't hear him.
All right, green flag back in the air. We're cleaning up our 10th caution. David took her out front trying to get his first win of the season.
Oh, Cutlet into the wall.
Cutlet hard into the wall in turn 3.
You got it collected.
Still
we're
green,
still
though.
green. Oh, now we're not.
not anymore.
No, now we're not.
No, we're not.
How it funneled. That wreck began in turn 3 and ended up in the middle of the front straightaway.
We kind of got to go back here to the green flag and see what happened here.
So this is the lap it happens on.
Oh,
Oh,
22 cut up, kind of caught up in front of him. He gets
it
it
looks
together.
like he gathers it up, but just never can. That many cars, one spot. That is unfortunate. Man, talk about you think you have it saved, and then sometimes it's just not your lap. And for the 5, that was not his lap.
You know, the thing that I've learned about this from this race, gentlemen, is that Tate Lytle needs to work on his singing.
Hey, you can't talk about a 2-time champion like that. No.
I mean, it's understandable in Nashville. You get the itch. You want to sing a little tune here. I mean, we all know the stories about Marty Robbins. You know, a singer and a racer. So
You want to know what my favorite surprising hidden talent? I had no idea. Jeff Gordon can break dance. Have you seen that video?
I unfortunately have.
I never knew that man could break dance, but he can. My apologies
Hey,
if you
those
hear
West Central Indiana boys from the '80s, you know, never know what we can do.
Dega in the background.
The pride of Pittsboro, Indiana. So if Tate can get himself up into the podium position, I think we got to ask him to sing. And
That's brave.
that'll either
Break.
entice him to get to the top 3 or keep him out of the top 3. He'll be fighting for a 4th place finish.
What are you guys thinking about that strategy? 2 tires or 4 tires? Because so far, with the amount of cautions, we have yet to really exercise that result.
At this rate, you could use some tires you found along the side of the road.
Yeah, I mean, it's been 40 laps since we've pitted, and Ethan Stanley's only been able to get up from 5th to 3rd here. I mean, he needs at least a few laps to go green to see what he's got.
We saw how long it took for him to get around the 19 car. He'll have to do it again. Green flag back out. We're racing here at Nashville.
Oh, car in the wall, 13, Braxton DeWeese.
Braxton DeWeese, yeah. We stay green though. Oh,
22 around.
Garrison Hogan.
Still green, though.
Oh, big blink out of the 24 car and caution now. Got a
Big
big
mess in
crash
turn
in turn 3. Now we've gotten to the part of the race where you're out for blood.
Tate Lytle kind of goes up the hill there.
Oh, he and Ryan Gavel make contact. Scott Crump, that wreck happens right at the front of the field, practically. Hard to say if Gavel came up or if Lytle came down. But Tyler Foley gonna get a piece of this.
And
He
Fody's
gets
got to bounce
spun.
off the wall, and that's got to collect Braxton DeWeese. That's got to collect Andrew Rucker.
A little more damage to Tate.
I don't think that podium finish is.
Nick
Matthew Weeks,
Indelicato.
Indelicato, 12 car, Jordan Owens.
That's a
Oh,
pretty
Nick
good
Hard
shot on
contact.
the right front there for the 10.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
story
pretty hard.
involved.
And the 22, I believe. Andrew Rucker.
Oh, you can see the right front damage on the Nick Indelicato's car there.
That's gonna cause.
Yeah,
or
Weeks
take
was on the
some
radio
time
wanting to know who
fix.
came and hit him in the door. But I don't think Indelicato had a choice.
Oh, he's just about stopped here, it looks like, and then he's got to get some contact from behind, maybe from the 12.
Propels him up there.
Yeah.
That's not his fault, Big crash. I mean, that's at least 7 or 8 cars there. 30 to go.
Looking down through the field here. Bodie came out of that in better shape than I thought he would.
About to get back underway here. Let's see how those 4 tires work for Ethan Stanley on the outside now. Or not.
Oh,
Caution again.
Out. 13th one of the night here. Chris Wright and I believe, was that Andrew Rucker again?
I believe it was.
Let's take a look. See what happened here.
Chris is looks like he's gonna get into Robert there. Gets him upset in front of a few cars. Braxton DeWeese gets by. Jordan Owens gets by. Looking okay.
Oh, yeah, but Andrew Rucker has nowhere to go, and that triggers the yellow. He comes to a stop.
Take a look at this again.
It looks like the 2 is coming down, but
No action. I think if Mark were up here with us, he would say that's the line that Robert would take for that corner. Chris would need to back out, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, look, guys, and when you're in there and you're going side to side like that, that's always going to kind of happen. You know what I mean? Robert is following his natural line. Chris isn't really coming up all that much.
no.
They just
No, if anything, I thought the 2 was coming down.
Yeah, but I mean that's the natural line for the corner there because you always want to kind of diamond it. It's just a racing incident. 2 guys going for the same piece of real estate. There's no way out of it for either of them. That's the definition of a racing deal. No further action. I mute the scanner so that I can come talk to you and you're not afflicted with Tate singing.
We appreciate that.
We go from here?
I think the counter has ticked down, so I'm gonna give you, Dave, and then you, Zach, the opportunity to make your picks.
I'm going to take Ethan Burrell in the third position.
Oh, bold. All right, what about you there, Zach?
I'll take the easy way out. I'll say David Tooker's just got to keep leading this thing behind the pace car.
I was gonna go with you. I think the 19 will go 6 for 6 here, and we'll have our 6th different winner of the season.
Why don't we guess how many more cautions we're going to have? 3? Over under 3.
I think over 3. Heck,
Yeah,
you need
yeah.
3 for the green-white checker. Tate Lytle is still in the 4th position there. But if you're going 19, I guess I'll take the 92.
Here we go.
I wanted to go with 19, but I'm happy with a 4-tire pick here. Oh, car in the wall there, Chad Frankenfield. Hard out of 2. Tate Lytle able to get around Ethan Morrell there. He's in a podium spot. But Ethan fighting back on the outside.
25 around.
Seth Rawls.
Yes, and that'll trigger our 14th caution flag of the night.
$25 there in the middle of the screen.
Blue and black car. Yep.
Like it's going to be a self spin.
The
See if everybody
classic.
stays off of him.
I heard Darrell Watcham say it one time. I got that. I spun out in the 4th turn look.
No
That
damage
is
to everyone else.
definitely been the highlight of the day. Calamity Corner. $19 to go. We'll take a break and come back with more action. You're watching the IndyCar 1909.
We're back.
Coming back to green here with 15 laps to go at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. David Tooker, Ethan Stanley leading the way. Tooker once again getting the jump out front. Ethan Stanley in second, side by side for third. Ethan Burrell on the inside, Tate Lytle on the outside.
Oh, Ethan Burrell just saving it off the bumper of that 90 car, Scott Crump.
You know something, guys? One of the things that we've seen a lot of is guys spinning out off the bottom, coming off these corners.
Yes.
One of the things they were kind of talking about in the break there is the way the setup is. The right front has way.
Oh, not a car around there, turn 4 again. Just as you were exclaiming there, Mark, sorry. The 05 got around.
3 wide. 28, 23, and 5. Still clean, but still 3 wide. Then the 5 and the 23 get together.
05, yeah. Just, I don't believe the track might be big enough for 3 wide, but I don't believe the run, how the groove is wide enough. And 05 did not give the 23 or the 22 room. But no action, which is good for the 05 because I think he already has the tally, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, when you have an accident like that, are you listening to your in-race spotter? How do you see or prepare for something like that?
I mean, you can listen a little bit, but it's hard to in-game spotter isn't as robust when it comes to avoiding an accident as a real-life spotter would be. So it becomes a lot just. The biggest thing is slow down, because if you can't react if the car is going too fast. So slow down and try to scan the situation. Just make the best decision you can at that point as far as avoiding the incident. Unfortunately, it's kind of up to you to figure it out at that point. But like I say, the biggest thing is just get the car slowed down and try to find a hole to get through. Or if there's not one, then just stop.
All right, well, we're under 10 to go. Haven't talked much about some of these people running in the backside, including Jeff Green. He's having a good run.
Yep, Jeff Green up to 10th. Justin Vandermarl up to 7th, we see. Right now, it's kind of become a little bit of a survival deal. Whoever can avoid some of these incidents we've seen late in the race, you can get out here with a good finish. Still a handful of laps to go, but that's where you're starting to see some of these new names get to the front.
I believe we'll have just 6 laps to go here when the caution flag is put away. That's 6 laps. I believe Ethan Stanley will need to use all of them to get around, or 7 laps. He'll need them all if he wants to try and get around that 19 car.
Yeah, it looks like, as we're about to go back green, David Tooker's been able to get out front on the restart, and whoever's behind him needs a couple of laps to get settled in and set something up to have a shot. So we'll see.
I was surprised he had taken the inside. That time he took the outside.
Oh, contact Tate Lytle.
And Chad Frankenfield.
We're still green.
6 laps to go. Yeah, and they're still running inside the top 10 there. 5 to go at the stripe. Will they make it through? Ethan Stanley all over the back bumper of David Tucker, who's now being pressured by Ethan Burrell. It's the Ethan and Ethan show.
You see, he's trying to really work that run off the corner to try and get in position here. Oh, contact!
Oh, he's got contact with him.
Around!
They both gathered it.
Here
No
comes Ethan
caution.
Burrell.
Trying to go for 2 in a row here. Lake Norman versus Pro Edge Racing, 3 laps to go. Oh, around
Bodie
goes
up
Tyler
around.
Bodie.
That's going to bring out the caution, I believe.
16th yellow flag.
We've got a car upside down on the backstretch.
Oh, do we?
Which car is that?
Harrison Talon somehow got upside down. That was
We'll
well
check that out
after
in
the
a second.
caution. Yeah.
Ooh, if I'm Tucker, I might be a little hot.
Oh. Look who
Chad
helped.
gets
Look
into
who
the
helped
back
Fody go
bumper.
around.
Oh yeah, Chad locked it up there and just gets into.
Oh, and Johnny's not going to like that at all either, because at that point he's going to miss the wreck to the high side, and then there's just kind of an unexpected movement there from Fody after the fact, and that was a pretty heavy impact too.
Let's see what happened to the 23 here. Oh my. I would say you were right about that car being upside down.
So is that after Fody had started? Okay, so yeah, this is there. You're gonna see what I was talking about on the outside. That's where Johnny Thomas gets into him, and Harrison Talon kind of gets squeezed by Jeff Green, also trying to get by. Like I say, it just really kind of unnecessary there. I know he's frustrated, but kind of unnecessary by Fody there, and it created a whole lot of problems.
Oh. Zach, you weren't here last weekend, so you didn't hear my story here, but I was at Daytona. I have never, ever seen a race car flip so many times like I saw Ryan Preece in my life.
Oh, well, yeah, that was definitely a scary deal.
Yeah.
Fortunately, Ryan able to race this weekend at Darlington, but definitely a heart in your throat moment with that one.
You know, I knew it was bad when they kept on the helicopter shot, which is like the safe spot for NASCAR screen production, which is right down the hall from where I work, but the whole crowd was silent. Oh man, that was not a good feeling. Thankfully, though, Harrison Talon gonna live to see another day. It's virtual, but yeah, I would say a tally would probably be going on the 15 here.
We'll have
Really hard
see
to get
what-
tallies on the 15.
Looks like we're doubled up for the restart here.
Oh, better get that live button back in business.
We'll have our first attempt at green white checkered. The Ethan and Ethan show. Both cars looking for their second win of the season. Green flag back out in the air. 2 laps to settle it. Our first green white checker.
Here's Scott Crump getting up front here and at the end of it.
They'll face the white flag this time by. We'll end the race on this lap. Ethan Stanley survives the carnage, and he's going to be rewarded with a checkered flag. Ethan Stanley, the winner here at Nashville. Oh, hopefully that's a friendly bump between the 19 and the
A lot of them.
92. Maybe not.
Can't tell if Ethan Stanley's trying to run away so he can have time to go do the donuts or what.
Well, break down who's happy and who's not here when we come back to the post-race show.
Take a look here at the results. Pull those up for you. Ethan Stanley, of course, our winner. Ethan Burrell, Scott Crump, David Tooker, Tate Lytle, Chad Frankenfield, Justin Vandermarl, Johnny Thomas, Ryan Gable, Trey Holmes, Justin Wadsworth, Gerald Campbell, Braxton DeWeese, Jeff Green, Garrison Hogan, Jordan Owens, Jonathan Cutlip, Jesse Racimus. Round out the top 18. Caleb Thompson, David Carpenter, Robert Hill, Matthew Weeks, Chris Wright, Michael Hossack, Mark Rebelis, Brent Jones, Casey Hatch, Seth Rawls, Andrew Rucker, Harrison Talon, Joshua Clark, Tyler Fody, Jess Story, Michael Goodman, Nick Delicato, Dustin Doer, Dylan Thomas, Justin Fortner, R.C. Anderson, Rory Collins, and Kyle Hanshaw.
All in all, though, I thought it was a good race. What did you guys think?
Oh, we definitely got some exciting short track racing and a dramatic finish. So excited to hear what our drivers have to say.
Let's see if we can get them in here.
I got somebody in the chat in the waiting room with a T is all they have. So who do you think that is? I don't want to just bring. I think that's Tooker.
Yeah.
Okay, so he doesn't get to come in. So we got Scott Crump. Let's take Scott Crump.
Scott, it's Alex up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, 10-4, I got a copy.
Well, you came in here as the season point leader, and it looks like that stat will remain at least for another week. Walk us through your night.
I had a bad cue there. I had to come from the back. I went from 37th to 17th on that long run, and then I spin in the pits, had to go back, went back to like 27th, and just slowly worked my way forward and just try to take it easy all day and just get a good finish. And I had a shot right there at the end, but I didn't want to wreck Ethan or wreck myself, so kind of just took what I was given there. Wish I had better cue tonight. I would have been out front and probably would have been battling. I think I had one of the faster cars tonight.
Well, you certainly proved that by getting up to the front. Were you surprised at the number of cautions that we had tonight?
I knew it was going to be a pretty good caution fest. Thought that cue was really going to hurt me there, but we got a good green flag run. I was able to knock off some positions. And then per usual, it's going to get crazy there, short track racing. Get a shout out to Ethan there for winning.
All right, well, want to give you the chance to shout out anyone and anything else you'd like here as a podium finisher.
Yeah, get a shout out to my team and Tyler Fody who runs it. Had a good run right there. He was running right there at the end too, top 5, and got taken out by Chad. Yeah, I mean we got first and third, and Gavel was up there too all night, and Fody was there. So it's it's a good strong run for the teams. Get a shout out to my sponsor, Stay Tuned Sports Podcast. Get a shout out to y'all up in the booth. Y'all do a heck of a job, and takes a lot of patience for these long races like this, sometimes on the cautions. Get a shout out for Chad running the league and my grandfather and brother watching.
All right, man. Well, congratulations there. We'll let you enjoy the rest of your night.
All right, thanks.
Scott Crump there, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're going to be joined by my man E-Dog there, Ethan Burrell. This is beginning to be an old habit.
Yeah, what's up, Alex? Yeah, we're getting on a little run here. We'll take it.
What was it like getting up to second, and did you have anything for the win here?
Oh man, it was tough. Thankfully, I qualified in a good spot and played it safe and smart with the pit strategy. And I didn't quite have the speed on the corner entry. I could roll the exit pretty good, but I don't know if I had much to fight for the win. I was pretty content with where I was sitting, and that spree of cautions in the last quarter of the race, I was just hoping I could walk away with the top 5 in a clean car. So we turned out good.
You were in the waiting room with Ethan Stanley and Tucker. Were there words being exchanged?
It was actually worse. It was dead silent in there. I didn't hear a single word.
Oh, do you think Tucker is mad and maybe rightfully so?
Yeah, I'm sure. We like good hard racing, and I'm sure.
What did you see from your vantage point?
From my view, I just saw a guy get hit, knocked out of the way. It is what it is. It's situational, and we'll see. I understand why Tucker would be mad. So yeah, I think the point was put across by Tucker though.
All right. Well, don't want to take away from your runner-up finish. Want to give you the chance to shout out anyone and anything you'd like.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks to you guys for putting on the show. It's always a good night when I come up here and talk to you, Alex. Shout out all the guys at Pro Edge, man. Tucker was stout. Tate did a good job coming through the field. Weeks was solid. And yeah, man. Shout out to Austin and Betty for watching. They tuned in and put together a solid finish for them. So yeah, we'll try to go out next week and do one better.
Alrighty. Congratulations, man. Ethan Burrell, a hot little mini streaker.
Yeah, thanks, Alex.
Heading in. No problem. All right, let's see if we can talk to our race winner here. Ethan Stanley, do you got a copy?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah. Well, what's up with you, man? It's gotta feel good. You're our first multiple race winner of the season. How does this stack up?
Yeah, I apologize to Tucker. I know he's upset about it. Hate to get a win that way. I just kind of went up in the corner. Didn't mean to actually get into him. But yeah, I had a pretty good race. Pretty fast the whole race. I think I had the fastest car. Just unfortunate strategy towards the middle put me a little bit down.
I was gonna say, did you talk to Tucker at all while you were in the waiting room?
I tried saying hi, but it was pretty frosty in there, so yeah.
That is unfortunate, but you come out the winner here. Want to give you the chance to shout out anyone and anything you'd like.
Oh yeah, just shout out to the Lake Norman guys for being there the whole race. They had a pretty decent run. except for Fody, he got taken out. Shout out to Blue Egg Marketing and IRAPS for being on the cars this season. And just big shout out to you guys for doing the broadcast, and of course, everybody watching at home. And just big shout out to everybody that makes the league happen.
Well, it's certainly no problem at all. Congratulations, man. You're on a roll. Second win of the season. That's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, hopefully not the last.
All right, Ethan Stanley, you heard it here first. An apology to Tooker, but a win for the 92. Guys, let's wrap it up here. I think it's a good time. And tonight was a good race. You got that short track action. You knew somebody was gonna be leaving mad, but unfortunate for the 19 car. But he still walks away with a top 5 finish.
Yeah, I can tell you that Mr. Tooker was in the waiting room hoping that we would bring him in to talk to him, but his team owner has advised against that. So I will honor that request. And he has now left the.
That would have been a heck of an interview. I would have loved to have talked to him, but I'm sorry, Tooker. My heart goes out to the pole setter there. Don't know if I'm supposed to be biased, but he holds a place in my heart.
So. I didn't want to have to spend time editing the audio later this week.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's get out of here and come back next week for Chicago, right? Chicagoland.
Yes. Chicagoland Speedway. Defunct track, unfortunately, on the real life cup circuit, but a fun track on the fake life. But from all of us here at joinabs.com Cup Series and ERN, so long. We'll see you guys next week.